Hello, my name is Corbin, and I've been doing triathlon for about a year. Recently, I had the privilege of racing 70.3 Santa Cruz this year in 2025. The race went well for me. I was able to get a top 10 finish in my age group, which is the men's 30-34 age group. And I was also able to beat my PR from last year by about 51 minutes. And so this video is going to be talking through how it went for me on race day. We're going to be going through some of the stats of like how each of the different parts of the race went. And I'm just going to be giving my overall thoughts on, how it went for me. So let us start off with the overall split. So this is what I was able to do this year. Super happy. Top 10. Here are the splits. The total finish time was 4:32:54. And I just like to kind of contrast that from last year. The total finish time was 5:24:30. So about like 50 minutes or something of a PR there. So I'm pretty proud of that. All the legs were faster this time. All the transitions were faster this time. And so let's get into actually what happened. Here's the course. I'm on the swim. Let me go back to the overall event here. Here's the course. Beautiful course. I mean, you can't beat this. Swimming around a pier, going up and down Highway 1, and then doing a coastal run with a gravel section in the middle. Training was going well. Some training stats was I was coming into the race at 175 pounds. FTP was 390 coming into the race. That was the peak that I've been able to hit in the weeks prior to the race itself. I felt like I had a good taper, felt like I had a good kind of carb load a couple days before. But what really messed me up coming into this race was a lack of sleep. On Thursday, maybe Thursday night, before the race is on Sunday. Thursday night, got 5 hours of sleep, which is like very low for me. And then Friday night, got 4 hours of sleep. And then the day before the race, night before the race, I got 3 hours of sleep from 10:30 p.m. to 1:30 a.m. morning of the race. So yeah, I know that getting one night of bad sleep usually before the race is probably okay, but 3 days there, that really messed me up. Maybe the physical toll on me wasn't that bad, but there was definitely like a mental, I couldn't stop thinking about it throughout the whole race. I kind of carried that energy to the start line of the swim. I really wasn't feeling great. I was just so down and out about not having good sleep. Decided to line up at the front. Last year I decided to line up in the middle of the pack, and I had to pass a lot of people. So this year I was like, you know what, the strategy is going to be going right at the front. I was literally the third send-off for the age groupers. It was intimidating to be there. Everybody was talking about like the college days of when they used to do all their college sports. I've never done that, so that was kind of intimidating to be listening to while lining up. There's also this like push to be in the front. Everybody's just kind of like, there's this pressure to just like be in the front, and everyone's trying to like move everybody else so that they can get their spot. So that was a little bit intimidating as well. But was able to get that send off, and I'm in the water, and everyone kind of blasts it for the first minute because you're excited, and that felt fine. But dude, after that, my arms felt fatigued. I was experiencing some fatigue in the arms. I'm not really used to like wearing a wetsuit. I grew up as kind of like a pool swimmer, so the wetsuit's kind of still a foreign concept to me. So that was in there, having a hard time breathing, a little bit of excess shoulder strain with the wetsuit on. Let me show you the actual stats from the swim. 123 average, which is kind of like low for me. I was expecting to be maybe like way faster, like 115s or something like that. But look at this heart rate. It started off hot and it just kept being hot. 172 average for 27 minutes. God damn, I was exerting. I can do a faster pace in a pool with like 15 beats per minute less for 27 minutes based on my training, and so this is like crazy to be exerting this much on the swim. It really felt like it. I was getting passed by so many people. And obviously the plan was to like try to find feet and try to draft, but I couldn't do that, and that was like very disheartening. I kind of calmed down after the turns here, and then on the way back I was just kind of looking behind me, trying to not have anybody else pass me, but I don't know. I just couldn't find feet. I couldn't swim straight. The buoys were always coming up on the left when I was looking up. And so I was just done. At this point, halfway back, I was just like, you know what? I just want to be done with this. Was able to get to the beach in one piece. Last year, I almost fell. I almost face planted running up the beach because I was so disoriented. So this year I decided to keep it cool, do a little, do some walking up the beach to not fall over. And then, we, take off the wetsuit, unzip the wetsuit and start running. T1 was way better for me this year. One, I just like ran fast first off, but this year I didn't have to put on contacts. I literally spent a couple minutes last year putting on contacts because I'm like scared of wearing contacts while wearing goggles in the water because of all the like bacteria or whatever in the water. I don't know, maybe I'm just like kind of scared of that. But this year I was able to get prescription glasses, cycling specific glasses. You'll see them in the pictures, but cycling specific glasses from Roka. And so I was wearing those. Oh, speaking of pictures, let me show you some pictures of what it looked like. So this is me on the swim. And yeah, that's me coming out. I'm in one piece. I'm not falling over. And so that is what the swim looked like. Let's get to the bike section. This is what my bike setup looks like. There we go. Let me zoom in a bit. Actually, this is probably a better shot here. I have a better one here. Okay, this is my bike setup. We got the Wing Dream. We got the glasses underneath the visor so that I can see. These are corrective Roka cycling sunglasses. 2 bottles of Torpedo and a 30 mil or something at the back. Got my cap sleeves on. Road bike. This is a Tarmac SL7. These are the stock alloy wheels that... Alloy? Is that alloy? Stock wheels that kind of came with it. And yeah, this is what we're rocking. So let me show you how the bike went. Let me get back here to our bike section. Transition way faster, like I said, because of those glasses. I didn't have to put on contacts. And here's the bike section. I was super excited. I was super excited to be done with the swimming. So as soon as I start the bike, I was gunning it. And that was probably so stupid of me to do that. The goal watts coming into this was 315. And you can see how that deteriorated a lot over time because I blew myself up on the way out. I'm like very competitive and and so like and dramatic at the same time, deadly combination. So I was like passing a bunch of people and I don't know, I'm just like self-conscious about being on a road bike also. So I was like, every single time I passed somebody on their tri-bike with disc wheel, I was like kind of giving them the stare on my road bike. Yeah, kind of dumb of me, but yeah, I was doing like, I don't know, 320 or something for the first like 60% of this bike leg. And that felt good. I was getting super hyped when I saw the turnaround and I was like, oh my God, I'm going to go like, I don't know, 215 or something. But dude, after the turnaround, it all fell apart. I don't know what was going on. I don't know if there was something going on with my position here, but my lower back and my ass started to scream. It wasn't like cramps. It wasn't even like cardiovascular fatigue. My heart rate was low, actually, if you look at it. Look at this. Look at the drop off. It started off high, and then at this point, that's when my power, here, let me look at the power. The power, big drop off here, but then the heart rate just fell, and my ass and my lower back were just screaming. I got to figure out what was going on. Maybe I'm doing too much training on the indoor trainer. I'm not used to hills. I'm not used to riding outside, but God, that really hurt. I was having to like stretch downhill, stop pedaling and stretch downhill, and that was just not good. I was not, spirits were low on the swim. They were even lower on the bike, man. I was just devastated. I've been able to do 2 hours at 315 on the indoor trainer in this position. So I'm not sure what was going on out here, but you could see me grimacing here. That's how much it was hurting. So yeah, so that was the bike. Limped it in on the bike. It was all right. Nutrition was fine. Everything else was fine. It was nice to kind of see. I like this bike ride because it's down and back, so you get to see like the pros and the other age groupers coming out. So that was kind of fun. But as soon as I get into transition for the run, not super quick, but way faster than last year because I actually knew what I was doing in terms of transition this year. And that's when we kind of get into our run. And let me show you the pictures first because let me show you my run setup. Here's me struggling. But you can see, yeah, my Roka sunglasses, those stayed on, little sweatband that was in the Nerd Belt. I'm running a Nerd Belt here, double bottle. So a lot of people make fun of me for having so much personal hydration, but I like it. Maybe it's something that I gotta train out someday and just rely on aid stations, but I like being hydrated and feels good, makes me happy, makes me motivated. Rocking the calf sleeves and the Alpha Flies down here. I decided on this run to be as mature as possible. I was not going to blow myself up like I did on the biking and on the swimming. My morale was really low at this point, so I was like, you know what? I'm going to be as mature as possible. I'm going to have a good even pace on the way out, and then maybe at around mile 8 or something, I'm going to pick it up on the way back. And basically, that's exactly what I did. And so you can see, let's see, the pace was like pretty hot in the beginning, but then it kind of dropped off, especially near that gravel section. And then we picked it up at around, mile 8, or I guess, what is this, mile 8? Picked it up on the way back. It was fun to kind of like run with some of the pro women. That was cool. I've never this was not a pro race, I don't think, last year. So it was nice to just like see everybody, all the men on the way back. That was nice. What's interesting is that I was very mid-pack last year, and there was just more people cheering for you. Maybe it's just because I was running in a big group of people, and obviously as an aid station person, you want to cheer for all those people. But this year, since I was more kind of front of pack, not many cheering, not much cheering was happening, not as much actually. I was in no man's land basically for this gravel section here. For this gravel section, I was basically in no man's land. There was nobody running with me all the way through the finish. There was only a couple people that I was running with. And so that was how that went. So this was very mature run. If you look at the competition, this was the slowest run split of the top 10. So that's definitely a goal for me moving forward, is to have a better run. But anyway, final pace for me, 7:11. Average heart rate was, 158. I guess that's good. Very even, very reasonable, I would say. I felt like I could have gone faster, but thinking about that bike ride, I think this was definitely I was spent after this. Here's me at the finish line. I was just so done with this race, man. I kind of, you're delirious at this point, so it's hard to do math and try to figure out if you're going to meet your goal time and stuff like that. So I kind of didn't know where I was or in terms of time and in terms of placing. But as soon as I crossed the finish line, regrouped with my wife, and she told me that I was 8th at that point. There was somebody behind me who passed me time-wise, so I ended up 9th, and my wife told me about it, and I was not expecting that. The whole race up to this point was just pain, basically. Sometimes there's pain and you're like, yeah, that felt good and I felt high effort, but this pain was just man, I was just so down and out about not getting sleep. I don't know why. I was scratching my head the whole time of why did the biking, what happened on the bike leg? I was looking forward to the bike. My numbers were so good coming into this, so that pain that happened to me on the bike in my butt and my lower back, I was just devastated by it. So this whole race felt so just not good. But I mean, I'm so happy with the result. When my wife told me that I was in the top 10, I was not expecting that at all, for sure. And then when I looked at my finish time, I was also not expecting that based on how the race went, for sure. And I was just so happy, I literally started to cry. I just embraced my wife, embraced my dog, and I just, the tears start flowing. I don't know what it is about triathlon. I cried last year also. I was literally eating the post-race food, which was pizza and oranges. I was sitting on the sidewalk just weeping. I don't know, triathlon makes me cry, I guess. But the same thing happened to me this year. I mean, I am overjoyed with this result. The race didn't feel that good, but the overall results were basically exactly what I was looking for. Had a goal for being top 10 in my age group this year, which felt very not very achievable at the time. It felt like a very, very large goal. A lot of people around me were I don't know, man, you came in 75th last year, so a top 10 in 1 year, I don't know. But I was able to do it, and that felt really good. It's just, I'm just so thankful for the people around me, my wife, my dog, everybody. I'm giving an acceptance speech right now, but but I got to thank them. I got to thank my family, my wife, my dog, my friends, coworkers, everybody that was so supportive, friends, family, everybody that was so supportive of me. I'm just so happy that I'm in a place in my life where I can participate in stuff like this and do fairly well. And I'm a highly competitive person. I'll be the first to admit that. So I mean, what's going on for next year, right? If I'm able to get top 10 this year, 51-minute PR, I was able to even beat one of the last place pro men finisher. I think he was having a bad day on the bike or something, but like even that is just, I was not expecting that at all. So I'm beaming, I'm bragging, I'll be the first to admit, but I'm just celebrating, man. It was such a great, not a great experience to go through, but the result was like more than I could ever ask for. And I'm so thankful to just like be able to do this. I'm thankful for the people around me, all the help that I got, that sort of stuff. But for next year, dude, what am I going for? Top 5? Maybe? I don't know. It's very exciting. This is just 1 year of training for me. So who knows? After a second year of training, am I going to have a plateau? Am I going to keep going? Can I drop 20 minutes? That'd be crazy if I could drop 20 minutes. But there's only one way to find out, which is doing it. I just am finishing up 2 weeks completely off of everything. And literally a few days from now, I'm going to be starting training again. So yeah, thank you so much for watching this video and hearing me ramble and about how this race went for me. If you're interested to see how the training goes for me this year and to just kind of, keep up with what I'm doing and how training is feeling and what I'm shooting for and what my goals are, feel free to subscribe if you want to. Thank you. Thank you so much for watching. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one.